I know. Don't worry, we're going to be doing some videos on this motorcycle pretty shortly. I'm going to show you all the things I've done to it, you know, how I've customized it, talk about the engine, different things, and the controls. Maybe we'll even do a few performance videos or something like that, but this is my baby right here, and we're going to know all about this motorcycle before it's over. So stay tuned for that, because it's coming up real soon. Really, what we want to do today is really thank patrons for being so good to us, because without our patrons and our viewers, all of our viewers, we wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't have, you know, the initiative to do it, and we certainly wouldn't have the money to do it. So it's been all working out great. I just can't thank you people enough, you know, and I think that it won't be long before everybody will figure out exactly how to get their name up there. Once you get to $100, we're going to put your name on the board, and we're really proud to do that. We're starting to fill the board up. It's going to fill up really quickly, I think, and we'll probably have to put another board up. We're actually thinking about putting a board up with pictures, your pictures on it. So that's just something else again that we've been thinking about. And what I'd like to do today is just show you that we've added some things to our merchandise line. We've got these beautiful mugs here with the image on both sides, because we couldn't figure out what side to put it on, so we decided we'd have them printed on both sides. And we've got these great coasters. They got a fantastic finish. They're the same iconic photograph that you see on the Patreon page right up here on the board. So, you know, we've always liked this image. It was fun for me to be driving that boat, and I just think it's a great shot. They look fantastic on your table. Couldn't do anything but make your dining room table look a lot better, really. So that's what we're up to. Today I'm going to be drawing these lines. You know, it's going to be fun for me. I just hope that everybody at home has got their boards all set up so they can draw along with me. I'm going to try to be going slow enough so everybody can keep up with me. But, you know, you can always rewind and get back to some of the things that you might possibly have missed or something like that. But you'll be able to draw these lines or lines similar to this when we're done, because this is the simplest set of lines you could possibly draw, really. Then we're going to draw the 23-foot V-bottom skiff, the lines drawn to that, but that's going to be a little bit more complicated, and that'll be fun. That'll be coming shortly after we do this drawing right here. So what I want to do is get started. I've got my glasses here with my 500 power so that I can really see well, and we're just going to get started. Before I start doing the lines drawings to our work skiff, I want to show you a few things about this model right here. Now, I made this model quite some time ago. I didn't build a skiff from it, and I didn't make the model from a skiff, but I did it the same way I build a skiff, by just having some of the dimensions and things in my head and one mold. So what I want to show you really is the different views here. Now, we're going to be drawing what you call a profile view, and that's pretty much what you'll be seeing right there. You see two different lines in the profile view. You see the chine line rising up forward, and you see the shear line. And that's all you see in the profile view, other than the stem and the stern. So there's another view here, and that would be the half-bridge view. Let me show it to you this way. The breadth of the boat is all the way across. The half-bridge view is from the center line over, one way, one side. So we're going to be drawing a half-bridge view. We're going to draw it from the center line. It's only going to show half of the boat. But you're going to see two lines in that too. You're going to see the chine line, and just outboard of it, you're going to see the shear line, because the shear line is only like 3 inches away from the chine line in that view right there. And the whole idea of this is so that you can take those two drawings, those two longitudinal drawings, and then steal measurements from those two drawings and transfer them into another view, which would be basically the plan view, or the station view right here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get the shape of the transom off of those longitudinal lines. We're going to get the shape of a mold right in here off of those longitudinal lines, and we're going to do another one right in here off of the same longitudinal lines. So basically it is the simplest of all boats to draw, because it's flat in all sections. There's no hollow sections to the side. There's no hollow sections in the bottom anywhere. It's all flat. So it's a flat bottom, just curved up forward, but it's still flat across. In every respect, it's flat. It's not flat longitudinally, but it's flat across. So it's a very simple drawing. And we're going to get started with doing that right away. On this model, I've got a number of dimensions that are very much like every skiff that I've drawn. So I'm going to go over those with you at the same time. Let's get drawn. We're going to make first a baseline. And I'm going to start right here and draw it right straight across like that. Now, I had said that I can put verticals on it in two different ways, but I prefer using a triangle like this. Before I do any vertical lines, I'm actually going to draw a line. We're using the 1 inch to the foot scale. So I'm going to draw a line 2 feet above that line, right there. Okay, is that accurate? Yes, it is. Perfect. I'm going to use my same straight edge, that way I don't have to draw or measure it on both ends. So here's another line going right in there, 2 feet above that one, like that. Now, you know, there's a number of decisions to make here. I think what I'm going to do is use this line as the very bottom of the boat and then show a curvature up forward like that. And I think that's the best way to do it. Part of the longitudinal line is already made in that case. Next thing I'm going to do is draw the length of the boat right up here. I'm going to got 2 verticals right in here, and they are 15 feet 4 inches apart. The reason why I'm doing that is because I call it a 16-foot skiff, but it's 16 feet around the rail. So it's 15 foot 4 inches in actual length. So I've got those two plumb right there, 15 feet 4 inches. Now, there's a line here that's going to be 11 degrees inside of that. So what I'm going to do is set my protractor here on 11 degrees and slide it over and draw a line right in there. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to draw another one over here, 2 feet up. 2 feet up is the height of the boat at the transom. Up forward, it's going to be like, say, 2 feet 6. 1, 2 feet 6. So the shear line's going to land about there. Now, amidships, it's going to be a little bit lower than that because I want it to have a little dipping shear to it right there. I'm going to turn my rule around like this and make this one 1 foot 11, somewhere near amidships, a little aft of amidships, and it doesn't really matter exactly where. So I'm going to draw the shear line and the profile view of the chine at the same time here. I'm going to bring some spline weights out where I can use them, and I'm going to take my flexible piece of Venetian blind right here and put it on the line right there. We'll put it on the line right here, and we'll draw a little curve into the bottom right here like this. Now we want that to be about 4 inches, so I'm going to take my rule right here and measure up 4 inches like that. So that's where we want that to end up. And I'm going to move this forward. This wants to be 4 feet ahead of the heel of the stem, or after the heel of the stem. So it's going to be right in here. That's approximately where we're going to put the mold that we bend around. So I've got that one down to the line. I've got this one parallel the line. Oh, let's move up here. Let's get this one right so we don't have to do it again and again. That just wouldn't be good for me. Okay, that's going to be just about right. Like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw that rising profile view of the chine line itself, like that. And then it goes into straight right here. That's the way the boat is. It's just rising forward up a little bit. It's straight from there back all the way to the transom. So pretty simple to do that. Now we're going to move up and draw the shear line. Same thing. We're just going to take and move this up. We got our vertical dimensions here in the shear. And let's put this on this side. I'm struggling a little bit here, but not so bad. There we go. And it's going to look something like, well, that's too much of a shear. So what I'm going to do is bring this shear down, because you can make this shear in profile look any way you want. So I like it kind of like this is going to go down some more. I like it kind of like that. That looks good to me right there. I'm actually going to move it up a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. That's what I want right there. So this is the shear line going into it right here. I hit my thumb with the pencil. That didn't do any good. There's the shear line drawn in right there. Trying to darken it up just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. So now, that's the shear of the skiff in profile. Now, I'm going to also draw again here an 11-degree angle aft here. So I'm going to put my protractor on the baseline, set my protractor at 11 degrees, and let's see if I can figure out how to do it here. I'm going to go up to this one right here, and then we're going to put that one on a longitudinal line. This is on 10, 11 degrees. It's going to be like that. So there's our transom right there. I'm going to extend that line down a little bit just to get it a little bit longer. Like that. Now, let's draw this stem line in again. And it's about like that. There you go. So that's the profile of the skiff that we're drawing, and it looks nice. This one's got a very gentle profile in it as compared to the one I'm building. But this is very much like the last skiff that I built. Really is identical to it, really. The gracefulness of this rise is a little different than the last one I built, the one I'm building right now, and the shear is much different. So, okay, so there is your profile view. Now, we need one more thing. We need to have a half-bridge view. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw right here another, well, I won't call it a baseline. Let's call it a center line, because that's what it is. It's going to be the center line of the half-bridge view. Now, the half-bridge view, like I had said to you before, really is a view of half the width of the boat. So the shear is going to end up in the same exact spot, so we can just continue this line up to our new baseline or center line, like that. That's going to be the length of the shear line right there. This is going to be the length of the shear line aft, like that. That one's forward, this one's aft. So basically what I'm going to want to do is move this one way up here, because that's the width of the boat way up there. So now what I want to do is get the width of the transom at the bottom. And it's 68 inches. I've measured it right off of this. I've measured it off the boat. I remember it from the last one. They're all the same. So we're looking at 68 inches here. That is 34 inches. Why did I have such trouble doing that? But 34 inches, we're on the 1-inch scale. This is 12, 24, and 10 is 34. So we're going to mark it right up here, like that. That's going to be the width 68, 24, 34. Okay, that's right. Now, at this station we were talking about right in here, that station is actually going to be 4 feet, 4 inches aft of the heel of the stem. So there it is right there. That's on 4 inches. Now this is measuring from the heel of the stem, not the vertical. So it's 4 feet, 4 inches. That is where we're going to place our bulkhead, or we're going to get our first station out of this boat right there. So we're going to bring that down to the baseline. We're probably going to do another one halfway in between. It's not real critical that it be exactly halfway, because it pretty much does the same thing no matter how you slide it around. I'm just going to take this one and this is 10 1/4 inches right here. So we're talking about 5 1/8 right here. We're going to make another station right here, so it just helps you control the boat a little bit as you build it. So now we're going to transfer that station all the way up, right up in here. And we're also going to do the same thing with this one right here. We're just going to put a cross line right in there. Okay, so now at this station right here, I have a measurement here of 5, let's see, it's 4 feet. That's what it is. It's exactly 4 feet. So we're going to measure 2 feet on our 1-inch scale right here. 1, 2. That right there is the width of the boat, or half the width of the boat right there, at 4 foot 4 inches behind the heel of the stem. Now let's draw that. That is going to be our chine line right there. It's going to be right down in here, and this is going to be right down in there, like that. Let's put this one on this side, because it's pulling up. Oh, look at that. That came out good. Let's see, move that one up. Now, you know, you guys can, if you can keep up with this, I think that's great. If you can't, that's no problem, because you can always rewind and look at it again, and it's probably a good suggestion, really. Now, the other thing I want to do is make sure this boat isn't any wider than 6 feet across in any place, because lumber can be bought in 6-foot lengths. It's very convenient that you don't go over 6 feet wide on a skiff like this, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to get into 7 or 8 foot lumber. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to mark 3 feet right here, maybe less of an inch, maybe less an inch. I'm going to do it this way right here. I'm going to use 2 feet here, and I'm going to mark it at 11 inches up here, like that. So I want it to be that wide right there. You know, it could be like that, you see. That's it right there. So let's draw that line. This is the chine line in half-bridge view. That's half the width of the boat at the chine line. Oh, and I've made a mistake. I'm going to have to move this down into here. All right. Let's just stop right there for a second, and you can hopefully we'll be able to cut that out. What I have to do here is I have to measure this right here. This is going to be, 5 inches behind right here. We're going to measure back 5 inches right here. Okay, like that. Now that is a corrected line right there. Let me just take this part out right here. It's no big deal. Everybody makes mistakes, and I do the same thing. So we'll just brush that right off. I don't want to use my hand, like that. All right, we're just going to set it right back up again. It's not going to be much different than it was, really. It's going to be like so. Okay, that looks right to me. That's right. Same line here. Just a little correction up forward here, like that. All right, now we are going to draw the shear line. And like I say, that is a half-bridge view of the chine line. The shear line would start here, and it's going to be like maybe 3 inches wider here. This is going to be 6 feet across the transom. Let's do this. Let's make it easy. We're going to make this 6 feet across the transom. Like that. So basically what you've got here is 2 inches wider at the shear than it is at the chine at the transom. We want to make sure this is the same thing right here, or very close to the same thing. There's 2 inches right there. And this is going to be, I'm going to measure it this way because I'm 90 degrees now to the planking. So we want it to be right there. So let's move these up. This is going to draw the shear line in profile. I'm sorry, in half-bridge view. This is going to draw the shear line in half-bridge view. Now, let me move this one in. We're right on the line, right where we belong there. Going to move this one in a tiniest little bit, and that one's going to be moved really out like that. All right, that's it, right there. Let's draw that one in. Darken it up a little bit because I think it's going to come out right. I won't have to erase it. At least I hope I won't have to erase it. And there you go. That's the shear line in half-bridge view, like that. Now, the only thing I need to do is I need to draw the transom up to there. So now, this is going to be where the boat ends at the transom in half-bridge view. This is really, what you've got here is the corner of the transom would be drawn like that. And that is correct. Let me take this little line right out of here. You never see it again. There you go. Let me darken these few up right here. This is the top of the transom. This is the bottom of the transom. That's the end view, or the end of the transom in half-bridge view, right here. This is the half-bridge view of the chine. This is the half-bridge view of the shear. This is the profile view of the shear. This is the profile view of the chine. Now, if you wanted to generate a station, it really isn't all that hard, because really what you have to do is just take a pair of dividers. I've got a pair right here. And I'm just going to set it to be the width of the chine in half-bridge view. And we're going to transfer that into this view right here. So it's right there. I'm going to put a little pencil dot right there. There's the half-bridge view at the chine. Or it would be the plan view at the chine right there. It's going to be developing as we go. Now I'm going to do the half-bridge view of the shear. Oh, that one came out quick. I'm going to put that one right in here. There. And I'm going to transfer that one up to the top, like that. And basically what you have right here is half of the station when you cut the boat off at this position right here. This being the center line of it. So this is half the breadth of the view of the boat at the chine. It's half the breadth of the boat at the shear. Now you want to do another one? Pretty simple, same exact thing. This is how fast it is with a hard chine boat to generate your stations right here. Nothing to it. All right, we're going to darken that one up. This one here is going to be the half bridge of the shear line at this station, like that. I'm going to move that right up here. And put that right there. Bingo, like that. Connect those two up. There. That's the half-bridge view right there of the boat at this station right here. This being the center line, I'm just going to mark that CL right there for that station. And this is the CL center line for this station. Pretty easy. Let's do the transom. The transom, half the width of the transom to set with the dividers, we're going to use, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll transfer this right down and we use this as a center line. So this is going to be CL. And I am going to transfer this width in this direction, right over here. First I'm going to extend my baseline out that far, like that. Then I'm going to get the half-bridge view at the shear, like that. And I'm going to transfer that over here, like that. Now, if I want to get a height, it comes out of this view. So I'm drawing them in this view because the heights appear in this view. So there you go. That's the height of the transom right there. And it is going to be right back. I didn't even make my baseline long enough. Look at that. There we go, like that. All right, now the height is going to be right there. So we just put the width and the height. Now I'm going to connect those up with a pencil. And right now, what you have is the shape of the transom. So there you go. It's pretty simple stuff to do. It gets a little bit more complicated when you're doing a V-bottom boat because it's got a third line in profile, and it really doesn't have a third line in the half-bridge view because that would be the center line. So it does get a little bit more complicated when you get into different boats, especially round bilge boats. But the next boat we're going to build is going to be another hard chine boat, but it's going to be a V-bottom boat. So this is the lines drawings to the skiff that we built in our videos. If you want to extend the longitudinal lines a little bit, you don't have to change anything about the rest of the drawing, and you're going to get an 18-foot skiff, you know, or a 17-foot skiff, or whatever you want, just by extending these lines right here, the longitudinal lines. So we know exactly how to set it up. All the dimensions are on the table right here, right now. When you build this boat upside down, this would be your floor line, the one that I've got drawn as the center line, right? And it is, I'll tell you how high this boat is off the floor when you build it. You got 3 feet 4 inches, no, 3 feet 5 inches above the floor itself. If you use that as the floor, and this is the top of the boat when you're building it, which is actually the bottom, upside down, you're a little bit over 3 feet off the floor. That allows you to have the stem stick down below the shear, and obviously you're going to have to take these stations and extend onto them to get them to go down to the floor. And you can do all kinds of different setups with the jigging and everything, but really all I've ever done was bend them around one station, and then sometimes I've pinched them into this dimension at the chine and the shear, you know, without even having that station. But it's probably a good thing to build that station too. So the procedure that we use to put this boat together is obviously in the videos that we've done of the building of the work skiff, the 36 video series. So I would go there. The next thing I'm going to do is do the construction drawings, and what I have to do is just like cut a section through the shear like this, right? And what I'm going to do is draw you a detail of how all the things that are in this, the chine, the view of the chine from the end, right? So it'll give you the scantlings of the chine, the width of it, the height of it, the same thing on the rail, different things like that. I'm going to do one probably through the transom and one through the stem. right? The stem one would be 90 degrees to the stem because that's the way you're going to be cutting the stem out on a table saw, like that. That section would be in here. There's going to be a section in there. There's going to be another section probably down in here somewhere like this. These will be in detail in the construction drawings. So that's the way that's done. I hope everybody can follow me. If not, like I say, you can wind back, and I don't think you'll have any problems with this. Anybody that's interested will be able to pick this up because this is pretty simple, like I said. And it's going to get a little bit more complicated than this as we go along, but what I'm going to do now, like I said, is again, is do the construction drawings in another video. We're going to add the two together. That'll be a complete set of plans for this skiff. Everybody's been asking me for a set of these plans right here, and I really, I could have produced them a long time ago, but I wanted to make sure I produced them in video so you guys and myself would be able to all enjoy it together. So that's what we're doing right there.